My older sister thinks her boyfriend is cheating on her with me. This story was first posted April 27th, 2025, so it's a recent one. I don't know if I should be asking for advice because I honestly don't know what to do. For more context, my older sister is 22 and her boyfriend and I are the same age, 19. I'll call my sister Kate and her boyfriend Adam, which are not their real names. So Adam and I were initially acquaintances. We were both in the same year and class in high school and are now in the same university studying the same thing. We were never close enough to be friends, but after he started dating Kate, we did become friends and okay friends since we have a lot in common. I must mention I have no interest or any feelings for Adam. But when Adam and I kind of became friends, my sister didn't like it, which is understandable, so I kept my distance like she wanted. But Adam and I had to still end up speaking because we have a few classes together. But we really only talk about school or when it has to do with the class or anything Kate related. So Adam had been invited by Kate over for dinner and he asked me if I wanted a ride home in his car since we were still going to the same place after all. I didn't think much of it, so I agreed, and we had just come from evening classes and it was dark out and I was too exhausted. Most of the time during the ride, I was actually asleep, so we didn't even talk at all. But when we went into the house, I was heading up to my room when Kate grabbed me and pulled me back and asked why Adam and I came back together. Adam immediately tried to tell her why, but she started shouting at him and telling him to stop talking to me and to stop defending me too. Her shouting caused my parents to rush to us. She then started screaming at me, telling me to stop being jealous and to find my own man to drive me home. She then said she noticed everything and she hates how I think every man wants me, and she called me desperate too. She was also tightly grabbing me, digging her nails into my wrist, which hurt, so I yanked my arm off and then she shoved me. Adam tried to hold her back, but she began to scream and cry for him to stop defending me and that he was her boyfriend and not mine. My parents tried to calm her down, but she was shaking and breathing heavily and fast. She was also looking at me, and I felt and still feel so shaken up by the scene. My mom started yelling at me to leave the room until she was better and said that I was triggering her more by being there. I felt confused and accused. So I tried to tell them that I had no idea what I did wrong, and I tried to explain, but my sister started to make these sounds while shaking and panting and glaring at me, which honestly scared me. Yeah, me too. My mom yelled at me to leave again, and I did. I heard them ask Adam to leave too, and he also did, and later texted me and asked if my sister was okay, but I honestly have been too scared to leave my room. I feel a bit scared that my sister might do something to me. And I've honestly cried a lot and I feel a bit shaken up because of seeing my sister like that. I don't know if it was a panic attack or a breakdown, but she looked more angry than anything. I feel a bit responsible for her having such a reaction since she told me before to stay away from Adam, so I wish I never took the ride home with him. I don't know who to talk to about this, and I'm still in my room. I know I've said this a lot already, but I'm genuinely scared to leave my room because of everything. And I feel like my parents both think it's my fault for my sister acting this way. Cuckoo bonkers. I did not expect it to go that far already in the story. At first, I was like, could it have helped if you called and asked first, hey, we're both coming home. Adam offered me a ride. Is that cool? But then I feel like she still would be like, oh my God, why are you getting a ride? Why are you offering her a ride? Do you like her? He's not your boyfriend. Like, I still feel like it would be the same reaction, which is cuckoo bonkers, by the way. First update came 8 days later on May 5th. Sorry for the delay in posting an update. I had taken a break off of my phone and social media due to harassment that I'll later mention in this post. Oh boy. I would first like to begin by saying that everyone was right. I should have left my house for some time after Kate had such a reaction towards me. So after Kate's meltdown a week ago, Adam actually started keeping his distance from Kate and our family. I did too. I would only leave my room to go to school or to get dinner, which I had in my room. My mom also advised me to do that because she was worried about how Kate would be to me, especially since Adam wasn't talking to her much at the moment. But he would still text me occasionally if he had something to tell me about in terms of school, but he wouldn't even ask me about Kate. So about 3 or so days after that happened, I was at school and I got a text from Kate, and she basically told me that she hated me and that if I came home that day, she would actually me. I was so confused. I didn't know what I had done since I hadn't spoken to her for some time. I forwarded the messages to my parents, and I was also upset since she was threatening me out of nowhere. Plus, she was insulting me a lot too. Yeah, not cool. Kate called me, and when I answered, she was crying and screaming at me, saying it's my fault and that I never want to see her happy. And I took away someone so important to her just because I don't have a man for myself. I tried to tell her first that I didn't know what happened, but she kept saying, liar, it's your fault. Liar, it's your fault. Then when I hung up and went to ask Adam about it, he told me he had ended things because Kate had started not only calling his phone a lot, but also his parents. Kate, you're acting crazy, girl. You're pushing all these people away, and for what? Some insecurities, some jealousy, unless maybe there is more of mental health issues here that maybe we don't know about yet, because this behavior's wild. She was also texting his friends on Instagram, asking them to talk to him so he could talk to her again. Adam also said that she started threatening him too, but with her life, like saying if he actually leaves her, she's going to end herself and it will be his fault. There's bigger issues here. I didn't believe him at first, actually, since I had never seen or heard my sister act like that. So he showed me the text as proof and told me that he couldn't handle being in such a relationship since he was now afraid of her. Then he said he was also scared of me or interacting with me just in case Kate would hurt me again for it. I called my mom and tried to explain everything to her after I was done with all my classes. And I even had Adam there to speak with them too, just in case she wouldn't believe me or wouldn't believe that Adam had told me. But my mom just started yelling at me. She told me that what I was doing was wrong, like communicating with someone who caused my sister so much pain, and even trying to get her to speak to him. She then refused to speak to him or even hear the reason he broke up with her because all he did was hurt Kate to her, and said that me continuing to speak to him meant I didn't care about my sister. Oh, this is a mess. I'm tired just reading it. I then told her how Kate was threatening me, and she told me that it was just out of anger and that I should stay away from Adam if I don't want to make Kate angrier. I mean, at this point, I do think we should go our separate ways from Adam. I kept trying to get her to understand how I felt, but she kept dismissing me so much and yelling at me too that I cried and I had to end the call. I stayed in school with Adam for some time and we spoke about what I should do. And mostly because I was just scared of going home and wanted to talk to someone who understood me, not to trigger Kate. Kate was spamming me with texts asking if I was with Adam and what was taking me so long to go home. What's taking me so long? You threatened to literally kill me. That's what's taking me so long. Sorry, I'm not rushing to go home right now. She was also calling me a lot when I didn't answer her calls. She called me through my mom's phone, and when I answered and I heard it was her, I hung up after she said she knew I was with Adam. I honestly felt so exhausted by all of this and had to even face the fear of asking a friend who slept in the dorms if I could stay with her. I told her everything too, and we're close, so I have been here for a few days. I told my parents that I was with a friend to prepare for some exams, and both of them, especially my father, insisted that I go home, especially since I'm the youngest. They don't trust me to stay out of home since first I had nothing on me, but I'm actually just scared to go home, and that I don't care. My parents think I'm overreacting about Kate's threats and even made me speak to her on the phone, and she told me she didn't mean it, but I don't believe her. They're saying I'm trying to ruin Kate's name by involving others into family matters. Like what? I had to turn my phone off for some time because of Kate constantly calling and texting threats and insults to me. And when I would tell my parents, they literally made excuses. Oh, and on Saturday, all 3 of them came to my school to try and find me. Oh no. I was lucky not to bump into them, but Adam and one of my other friends unfortunately were spotted by Kate, but Adam didn't want to talk to them, so he avoided them and warned me about it, and my friend who did talk to them told me my sister asked her if I was staying with Adam, and my parents told her to tell me to come home and to take their calls. So yeah, I apologize if this post feels all over the place. I tried to explain everything for everyone who wanted an update. I am still so stressed about everything, and keeping my distance isn't helping like I thought it would. I'm constantly worried that my sister or my parents will find me and that I will have to speak to them about this, which I don't want to, but I know I'll have to go home since my parents are insisting on it. I have a headache just reading this. There's so much chaos. But I can tell that when you're expressing or trying to express your feelings to your parents, they're not validating your feelings. You're not being heard. You're not feeling heard. Going home feels scary. It feels sad. I have anxiety just thinking about it. I think a lot of people can relate to that though. If they grew up in a home that maybe wasn't healthy, the worst feeling. All right, so some people commented on this update. We'll read out the most relevant ones. Someone wrote, "Holy, why is she looking for you? So she can keep threatening you and blaming you for her psychosis? I'm glad you have friends to stay with. Are there any resources at your campus that can help you with mental health or counseling? Stay safe." OOP wrote, "Thank you so much. I haven't considered counseling yet since I still feel a little guilty that more people know about what happened with Kate, and my parents wouldn't really be happy about it." The next commenter said, "I wouldn't go home either or feel safe there. Your sister has some serious mental health issues going on, and your parents are just enabling her poor behavior. You can and should report this to the police with the proof of the threats and everything." Oh, this could get so bad. OOP wrote, "I feel like it would be a bit unfair to report this since she hasn't exactly tried anything yet. And I'm afraid of my parents' reaction to me even thinking about pressing charges." Yeah, she hasn't tried, but what are you gonna report it after she tries and I don't know if her sister's being serious or not. You know, when you're so angry, you're like, "I'm gonna kill you." Does she mean it? I don't know. Someone commented, "So when are you gonna report it? When she snaps and assaults you? Start a paper trail now." OOP said, "I'm seriously considering it now." Next comment, "Stay away from both. Your sister needs some serious help. Your parents don't seem to be doing much. I know you're very young and it's probably hard for you to move out, but it almost seems like your parents would choose your sister to stay home over you." OOP said, "The issue with moving out is that I'm financially dependent on my parents, and I've gotten used to life in school without worrying about having a job since the course I'm doing is quite heavy. But I'm now considering it." I feel so bad for her. We have some updates, but you know what time it is. First, we gotta hydrate. Yes, we do. Cheers. Drink your water. So we have an update that came the next day. I once again took everyone's advice. The hardest part about this was having to move out of the house I grew up in. Oh, damn! You moved the next day? It was really hard to go back. I actually felt worried, but I decided to go back home today when both of my parents were at home, and I also went with a friend just in case. Plus, I had time since my classes were all in the evening. My family has this obsession with keeping the family image good, and I kind of surprised them by coming back so suddenly and with a guest, I think. I first of all sat down with them and my friend went upstairs to my room to begin the packing and obviously to give us space. My parents then started talking in silent tones, basically telling me to stop being dramatic and stop dragging this issue out and that it has already happened and I should just forget about it and come back home. I first asked if I could stay in the campus accommodation or the apartments close to school since I am actually doing my final exams from Thursday and I wanted to stay in school where I could focus on just school. I thought this approach would work since my parents are pretty strict about school, but my parents refused immediately. My father said I wasn't allowed to until I was older, and my mother said she knows it's because of Kate. I then told them I've already decided that that's what I want and I'll do it anyway, and my father threatened to stop paying my fees. I saw that coming. He also told me to think about what our other family members would think and that I'd have a lot of time in our house with my sister during the summer break to make up, but I dreaded actually living so much time in the same space as Kate. Plus, I asked the school already about summer housing, and it is allowed in my school, but you have to pay a different price, which I expected my parents not to agree to pay. My friend came downstairs while we were talking and called me to the side, and then she told me that she was looking for a suitcase, and then Kate burst inside and was lunging at her, but then stopped when she realized it wasn't me. So she was going to attack you. Okay. She said she was scared and wanted to leave, and I felt scared too. I took my friends to my parents and told her to repeat what she just told me, and my mom just sighed. She told me to go if I want and see how I'll survive without them. I looked at my dad, but he didn't say anything. I asked if I was allowed to leave, and my dad said I can go, but as long as I wasn't under his protection, I shouldn't expect anything from them. My friend said that it was okay and she'll help me pack. So I asked my parents to tell Kate to come downstairs, and mom said she can do whatever she wants since she lived there. So me and my friend just went upstairs, and my room was wide open, and my friend and I actually hesitated to go in, but she wasn't there. Girl, lock that door immediately. I packed most of my clothes, not everything. Then we left immediately after. I decided to speak with the school with my friend about on-campus housing and explained my entire situation, and I was actually allowed to have it if I took summer classes or if I took an internship. But since I'm a freshman, it would be harder to do an internship, so I'm choosing to do summer classes. I was then asked to speak to campus safety officers concerning my sister and the threats that she made against me. But I'll go with Adam tomorrow, since we both have evidence and I had a lot of work having to bring my stuff to the dorms, as well as having an evening class to prepare for. I called my father afterwards and told him about it, the housing and fees, and then I asked again if he was really not going to pay my fees or support my other expenses. He said that he would pay for school fees and the housing, but I'd have to figure everything else out, like food and stuff, which I think is manageable. Now regarding pressing charges. Okay, I'm surprised by that. Anyone else surprised that dad is actually paying for all this? Now regarding pressing charges. I don't want to risk being cut off financially by my parents since I am not ready to pay for my own fees yet. Plus, after I blocked my sister, she stopped bothering me. But after my friend told me that she lunged at her when she came back home, I'm worried she'll do that again to me. And a lot of the comments in my posts have given me scenarios which made her scarier to me. But Adam wants to file a restraining order against her. For some reason, he doesn't have her blocked, just muted, but he views all of her texts and even forwards some to me or sends screen recordings of voice notes that she sends to him. And yes, we are actively communicating because we are going through the same issue. I hope to just receive protection from Kate. Even if it means spending my entire summer at school, I will do it. I'm not sure what's going to happen tomorrow, but even now, the school has said they're not letting people into the dorms area, so I will be safe until then. To the people hating on me for not pressing charges earlier, I hope you understand I fully depend on my parents for everything. I was worried that if I did, I would be cut off. But after my finals, I want to try and get a job so I can earn some money during the summer, and hopefully I'll get used to such independence. This is my final update. Thank you for the support. I'm okay, so is Adam, and we'll continue working on making sure we'll both be safe. Now, she did answer some questions that were in the comments. Someone wrote, "She lunged at your friend? Kate needs some serious help, and your parents are willfully ignoring this. She's going to hurt someone one day badly, and they won't be able to cover this up. How was the family dynamic before Kate? Was she always like this with you? Also, you need to expose your sister to everyone. Gather all your text messages, voicemails, everything you have, and place it in a group chat or Google document file and send it all to your relatives and post it publicly." I don't know about that. Shame is the only thing that will make your parents listen, since image is everything. If you're worried, then maybe her ex could do it on your behalf. If it's public on Facebook, your relatives would see it because of the tags. Oh God, that's so messy. Oh, P said she got weird after I became friends with Adam, but before we weren't the closest either. And I will ask him to do this. Thank you. Next comment. What other family members do you have? Are they aware of the situation? Can any of them support you somehow? My grandparents from my mother's side and my aunt and uncles from my father's side live close, and I can try talking to them, but after my exams or on days where I don't have them. My other family members who I think would be so much more help don't live in the same state as us. Next comment, if your parents try to force you to forgive Kate and allow you to be her target/punching bag, threaten to expose the three of them to your extended family. OOP said, yes, this is what I'll do. Anytime I'll be forced to interact with Kate, I will expose them and report her. Ugh, I really hope this isn't your last update because I just really care about your well-being. And I want to know that you have healed mentally, physically, you're safe, you graduate, you get a job. I'm rooting for you. I want to hear your thoughts. I'll see you in the comment section. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy.